And that's the way the cookie crumbled. Hey everyone, welcome back to the AGT Podcast, Week 1, official launch and release.
What's going on?
You guys are doing well. It's your boy, your host, Ben, and joining me this week, as always, and again,
It's Kevin. How you doing?
Hey Kevo. Good man. How are you? We've been recording all day. Normally we'll probably have, we'll break the fourth wall here. Normally there'll probably be weeks in between these podcast recordings, but we did the 0.1 launch earlier this morning and now episode 1 to kind of wrap up our day. So
Yeah, I mean it's definitely. It's been like a little bit of a busy day. I don't think I've been this busy in a while, to be honest.
I know, right? And it's crazy because it kind of feels like work, but it also at the same time has been pretty fun. At least for me. Don't let me speak for you.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely.
So I guess welcome. And this week we're going to cover a lot of different random things. We'll probably talk about video games as per the usual, and life and food. There'll probably always be food. By the way, week
Should that just be like a recurring segment? It's just we talk about
just food. I don't think we have to mandate that. I just think knowing us, that's probably going to happen every single week. Week 1/2, and still no word from Rolls. So
yeah, come on,
Rolls.
Rolls Gold Pretzels. Wendy's, where you at?
Yeah, come on, we're waiting for our sponsors. If you guys want to sponsor the podcast, there'll be a business email down below, or there'll be a contact form on the website, hopefully, in the next coming days too. So, in any case, so I got something I want to talk about here for a second, Kevin.
What's up?
The other day, and I think I already told you this story. I walked into a Lowe's, right?
Okay.
Shopping for this wood and the other supplies I needed to make the podcast set. And I realized I've been out of work now for a little bit, and I also don't have a car. That's a whole other tangent. So I'm stuck in home all day, every day, pretty much, except for when my wife lets me drive and I go out, whatever.
Yeah.
I already was a super awkward individual, but now I think that because I've been staying indoors more, it's getting amplified. So,
is this
yeah, I walk into Lowe's the other day. First experience, and probably, I kid you guys not, probably 6 days, first time going out of the house, which isn't that bad because I kind of like it, but also just because I haven't had a car and all that stuff. So, I go to Lowe's. I just bought a Diet Coke because I was like, yes, soda, whatever. I was drinking that. And I walk in, you know how Lowe's has the double door situation? Yeah. So you walk in through one and there's the inner chamber. Well, I walk in and uncontrollably and out of nowhere, one of the loudest burps I've ever burped in the history of ever just comes out of me. Like I'm expelling a demon. It just, it was bad. And I'm in the inner sanctum of Lowe's, right? I'm not quite through the entryway. And
it was real echoey in there.
Yeah, it was really echoey. So my heart sank, and I look around, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my gosh, I got away with it. It's a perfect crime. There's no one around, right? If anyone's outdoors, they're probably too far away to really hear anything." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." And normally, guys, it's like a burp. It's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. What happens next was a big deal. I'm walking in, and I'm zoned out. And I'm realizing, I'm thinking to myself, and as I've been walking, there was one of the Lowe's workers was on a scissor lift at the very top of a thing, and so I was kind of looking at what was going on up there, and after a couple seconds of just being in my own headspace, the Lowe's worker and I realized we'd been making eye contact for 3 seconds of walking, and so she looks at me kind of weird with a cringy face and is like, "Hi," or whatever. And as I realize, already in embarrassment, that I've been staring at the stranger, I go to lift my hand and give an exchange to say hello back. And a second, louder, more uncontrollable burp raises out of my mouth instead of the words hello, as I clawed desperately to try to stop that from happening. So, in her perspective, this creepy guy was walking, staring at her, and then went, "Bro." And because I burped, I was so panicked, I just walked away.
Oh
I didn't know how to deal.
No.
I didn't have the social strength to deal with that situation appropriately. And honestly, I haven't stopped thinking about it since. So, that was my story to enter the podcast with. Do you have any stories you would like to tell the podcast?
Honestly, man, I feel like there's so many things that have happened to me that are just awkward, and I'm just like, oh, I could die right now.
Yeah. Let us know. Do you guys sympathize? I mean, I want to hear some of your guys' stories too. But
let us know, definitely. Please make me feel better.
Yeah.
My gosh, there's probably been countless times you, me, and Madison hanging out.
Oh goodness.
Gosh, like hanging out, going out to eat, we'll, like spill something on us or something.
Yeah, me all the time. The most recent I can think with Madison involved, another one of our friends. We go to a sushi restaurant here in Charlotte called Mr. Tokyo. Phenomenal. And there was this one time, I got 2 stories for Mr. Tokyo. Don't let me talk the whole podcast. Oh, no. You please chime in. 2 stories. The first story, we were walking in. Yeah, we were walking into the restaurant, about to get seated, and they have around the corner, and this is still relatively early in the days of us going, but they have around the corner, like, extra bench seating, because sometimes there's weights or whatever, and, I mean, I literally turned the corner, and I nailed the bench with my leg, and full-on face-planted in the middle of the Mr. Tokyo. That one was pretty bad, because I was with a group of guys, and they were, like, you know, making me feel bad about it the whole time we ate. But the other story is I saw another friend of ours, Josh, eating there. Did not plan to meet him. I was like, oh, hey, cool. And he was with his family. And so I ran up to him, like, all, like, goofy, like. I was, hey, what's up, buddy? And I, like, smacked him on the back a couple times. I went to go pass through their booth, like, their little table and another conjoined table to quickly just, like, get out of the situation. I'm like, haha, hi. And my belt loop gets hooked.
Caught. Oh my god!
It got caught on the guy opposite of their table's chair, and I was moving so quickly, he literally was eating at a table and then got yanked 90 degrees facing the aisle, like quicker than he could have understood what was happening. He might have still been holding chopsticks, but yeah, I mean that was horrible for me because I, again, instead of standing around and being like sorry or trying to help him with his chair, I laughed and then ran to the booth and sat down and hid my face.
Gosh, man, I can't stand it when my belt loop gets caught on like the door handle or something.
It's the worst. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because you don't even know it. You're just walking by, and then you just get yanked back, and you're like, "Oh man, you kidding me?" It
is a real problem with. It's a design flaw, honestly. I mean, I guess belts are pretty cool, right? Like
belts are real cool, but all pants should have built-in belts.
Built in? I wasn't that like. I feel like I'd get made.
I feel like that's only in like sweatpants. They have the little drawstring. Yeah, but in all pants.
I mean, you can get those disguise pants. That's kind of what I'm wearing right now. Like I'm wearing cargo shorts. But they're just stretchy waistbands. Yeah. It's pretty great.
I mean, these are kind of like that. They're jeans, but they're a little stretchy.
I can't stand jeans.
Honestly,
if I can be honest.
These are pretty comfortable.
I've had one pair of comfortable jeans, and about 2 weeks into wearing them, because they were flex fit, the waistband got stretched out, and so I had to wear a belt with them. Anytime I didn't wear a belt with them, they'd fall off of me. And that was the most comfortable pair of jeans I've ever owned. And unfortunately, I've never really gone back since then.
Do you not have a belt?
I mean, I had a belt and I'd wear a belt, but occasionally I was like, maybe I can get away with it because I'm gonna be sitting down a lot. That's another thing. Like, so socially awkwardness, right? I make dumb decisions, like for social events. Sometimes, the one time I'm thinking of in particular, I was going to church and I was like, okay, I'll wear jeans. And I was like, surely I'm gonna be sitting down mostly in church, so it's not gonna be that big of a deal. Because when you sit down, your pants aren't gonna fall off or whatever. And someone asked me to help move something to their car at the end of the service. And I was like, well, I'm not going to say no and then walk away. And so it was just really awkward for me because I had to keep pulling my pants up constantly. And it was just a horrible thing. Anyway, I just don't deal well with social situations at all. And I think Kevin would agree with that for me. Personally.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, me too. I'm awkward
if my
to an
life
extent.
Is spaz of the group, I'm fine with that.
I mean, I'm like awkward to like an extent. Like I'm still pretty awkward. I'm trying not to be like super like overly. I don't know what the right word is, but I mean, I can definitely have my moments. There's definitely been times like tripping on something out in the open, and it's like. What?
I mean, I've dropped Chinese food leftovers. You've heard about that story. I wore a man bun for a while. Talk about awkward. That was not great.
Dude, I might grow my hair back out and get a man bun.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems to be all the. Well, I think the man bun's dying out. Honestly,
it did. That's why it's time to bring it back.
Think so? Yeah. Let us know, audience. You guys would know better than we would, probably. In any case, the real reason I wanted to bring up awkwardness was one story in particular. I told Kevin I should probably tell on the podcast. Back when we worked together, we were working with a company called LCB, Learn, Create, Build Academy. LCB was the acronym.
LCB.
We were required to travel to cities around Charlotte and host these really cool technology camps for children. That's not the funny part of the story. That was actually a really cool, legit thing that happened. But I digress. We would stay in hotels overnight when we'd go to these places. What was your favorite place that you went to? Probably Asheville?
Honestly, I loved Asheville, but the campus that I loved the most probably was Richmond. or not
Yeah.
Richmond. What was it? It was in Virginia.
It wasn't Richmond though. I don't know, somewhere in Virginia, I guess.
Yeah. Gosh, it's like on the tip of my tongue. But it was somewhere up in Virginia, and I loved that campus the most. Like that was like the greatest campus. But like the actual place to go, I think Asheville was probably the best.
Yeah, Asheville was a really fun one. And that job in general was just really fun because I hired mostly like friends. It's all I really knew who to reach out to. Kind of like leading this area for it. And the hotel trips were so much fun. Mostly because we would drink at the hotels.
Just hang out.
We wouldn't like trash the hotel rooms or anything, but it was just fun like bonding. We'd go like check out the city whenever we weren't doing the actual camps and stuff. The one thing with Asheville is they emailed the last time we went there. They sent out an email a couple days before warning us about bears on campus.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, I literally
well, if we die.
shield yourself with the children.
Jeez.
I literally had kids that I was in charge of on a campus where there was a bear warning, and it's like, well, here we go.
What?
But anyway, so all that to say, we got to this one hotel this one time, and there was an older lady. She wasn't like old, but hotel front worker. And I don't know, most of those hotel front workers aren't too happy. It seems like.
Yeah, like I don't think I've ever met like a happy like front desk person at a hotel.
Maybe it's because we've been staying at not great hotels.
Sure. I mean, we've stayed at pretty decent hotels, but I mean, it seems like every single person you meet is like. They're like in the middle of like a 15-hour shift.
True.
They're the only one there. They like.
Yeah, and so
they haven't eaten in 3 days. It's like, oh, what do you want?
Eaten in 3 days. So we pulled up, and I was trying to give her what was it? Was
I think she was just asking about the name of our company. She's
yeah.
like,
well, so she wanted an email on file.
That's
so it was.
yeah.
And so she was like, "Can I have an email?" And so I'm like, "Yeah, sure." It's ben@learncreatebuild.com. And so, admittedly, maybe I said it fast the first time, right? So she's like. Sorry, okay, ben@learn. She said, what was that again? And I was like, yeah, it was ben@learncreatebuilds.com. And she was like, okay, so it's ben@learnbuildcreate.com. And I was like, actually, no, it was learncreatebuilds.com.
And she was like, yeah, learn, build, create.
And she's like, yeah, learn, build, yeah, I got it right here. And I was like, no, but so it's create before. So this exchange goes on for I don't know how long.
Like 5-10 minutes, honestly.
Yeah, and we have our bags, and at some point it's been a while, guys, and we've been having this exchange, and at some point it gets to the point where she's like, all right, sorry about all that confusion. All right, one last time, I got it. It's ben@learnbuildcreate.com.
Yep.
And
That's me.
I was so fed up and so ready to put the bags in the room. I was like, yep, nailed it.
Got it.
Yep, you got it. And I just let her put the wrong email in because I can't be bothered, man. That was so bad. That was a really bad one.
And then outside to begin with, it's like, guys, we're here. What? No, we're not. We're here.
That was one of the early ones. Then it must have been.
Yeah, it was one. I think it was like one of the first summer camps.
Yeah, Kevin, we got lost on the way to the hotel, and Kevin was insisting that we were here, and we were
pulled
not
into the hotel's parking lot, and they were like, "All right, which one is it? I can't tell." I was like, "All right, it says right here. It's where we're here." No, I think we were staying at a different hotel. No, the email, right? We're here.
No.
I think it's the one down there. We're here.
I think the GPS was messed up or something. So Kevin eventually just started yelling, "We're here! We're at the destination! We've made it!" And so that was a fun.
I mean, I was in the back seat for like 3 hours. I was a little ornery.
That's true. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I mean, there's some nice cities around us too. Good food too. Yeah. Got to see that.
Columbia had good food. They good
food. Yeah.
Columbia had good barbecue.
Asheville had that taco place, right?
Yeah, they had White Duck Taco. If you're ever in Asheville, check them out.
Would recommend. It was really.
You should also sponsor us. Not sponsored, by the way.
Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag not ad. Del Taco, obviously.
Del Taco is fantastic if you live in the Columbia area or
wherever.
Dallas, I think, is there. I think it's in Florida.
I mean, we had Taco Bell, which is great.
Yeah, but
you know, it's
Del
like
Taco.
It's not that the taco is necessarily better than Taco Bell, but because it's like the rare forbidden fruit.
There's also like a much wider variety of food that's there. Like they have like fish stuff. They have like regular tacos and burritos. They have like fries.
Variety, yeah. You know, this is for any of the South Dakota people. Shout out to you guys if you watch this. Freaking Taco John's podcast.
I still don't.
Audience. If you don't know, if you haven't experienced the Taco John's, I feel so bad for you. Let me explain it to you in a couple words, right? Chick-fil-A, more known brand. You probably are familiar with Chick-fil-A.
Great brand.
You know the little hash browns that they serve you at breakfast time, little potato wedges. Where you've actually worked at Chick-fil-A. I don't know if you want to talk about that at all, but
Sure.
At Taco John's, they give you potato olays, which are just the same thing, except they're a little crispier, which is a nice touch. But they're way too salty. Like they literally, it's probably really bad for you. Like I know most fast food is, but like a serious health hazard to eat potato olays. And to top it off, they serve it with a side of nacho cheese, sour cream, or guacamole.
It sounds so good. I need to go to Taco John's.
It's so good. The rest of the food there is pretty solid. I'd say it's on par for like a Del Taco-ish kind of, restaurant. Those potato olays though are like they're like crack.
Yeah.
It's bad. They're good though, man. And the only place I know of, man, is South Dakota.
Sure. But yeah, man. I mean, I used to work at Chick-fil-A, like Ben just said. Honestly, I could tell you anything you wanted about Chick-fil-A.
Is it actually chicken?
It is actually. It's real chicken. We bread it ourselves. We fillet it ourselves, fry it ourselves.
I don't know.
Grill it ourselves.
I mean, did you enjoy what you did there while you were there?
Yeah, I think it was good. Really, part of the reason why I left was the management. Just because it wasn't the greatest.
Take that management.
Take it.
Look at him now.
No, I mean, some of them were like pretty cool guys, pretty cool girls. But it wasn't great. And I know there's not gonna be great management everywhere. But,
yeah, that's
true. I mean, it was still a little fun tenure that I worked there.
I mean, sometimes management can ruin like a pretty decent job, and it sucks. Like, especially at lower level working things, like working as part of a business, you just kind of have to deal with it a lot of the time. I worked at Discount Tire for 4 years, and I'm so conflicted. I don't know how to feel about that job. I did not really enjoy it while working there, but I loved the people that I worked with. So it's crazy. I feel like good management and a good team can carry you only so far at a suck job, versus like a good job, you can only work there so long if the people suck, man, or like if you have a hard time working with people. So I think I would prioritize, given the choice, probably a good team.
Yeah, I know definitely at Chick-fil-A. I mean, I still talk to a decent group of the people there.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk to a couple of them pretty much almost daily. Then a couple other people just talk to here and there. Yeah, I mean, it was good people that work there. It's just, I don't know.
There's something about work too, because like when I worked at Lids, which is a hat store near us, it's literally, as you look up like, I don't know, part-time job in the dictionary, and it's literally the definition. You stand there for 8 hours. If you don't even work, the manager doesn't say anything to you, and you occasionally check out customers, kind of thing. Retail job. It's exactly a retail job. But I worked there for like 2 weeks, 10 days maybe, because I realized pretty quickly that I didn't want to do that, and I moved on to pizza delivery, and that's something actually both of us have done. We can talk about that in a second. But yeah, I just realized it wasn't worth it. But those people, like, I felt like within the week, I knew one of them was having a baby. The other one was taking an art major in college. The manager was 20. Like, I learned like so much about those people, and I feel like
at Lids or
at Lids, okay. Yeah, and in a week, it's crazy. So I feel like definitely at work, there's just something about it that brings people more willing to like. So I guess because what else are you gonna do? Maybe I don't know.
I mean, at Chick-fil-A, I mean, a decent amount of time I worked like outside in the drive-thru, and I mean, you have no one but like the people that are like standing out there with you. I mean, if there's customers or guests, you obviously serve them. Right. Make sure you take their order and all that. But
my pleasure.
Yeah, just my pleasure. But as soon as whatever they're gone, you're just stuck with the people out there. So
yeah. Here's my question.
Okay.
Not to cut you off completely.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Is it actually your pleasure? Or did they just make you say that?
It 1,000% will be told next week on the podcast.
On the podcast. Bum, bum, bum. And it cuts off there. Sorry, did you have a finishing thought on the Chick-fil-A? I didn't mean to cut you off. I just
if you hate the people that you're working with outside, I mean, you're stuck with them for like 6 hours. So
yeah.
You just really just honestly, I don't know how you can hate them unless there's like a pre-grudge there. I mean, you just stand outside and talk with them and just
it definitely depends.
Joke around. And
feuds in the workplace probably start for all sorts of different reasons, but I know at my Discount Tire job is a labor job, so people just are mad anyway. Wow. If it's hot and there's like been a long day, like people are more likely to kind of snap at things. So usually if there was ever like a dispute between people, it would be resolved like the next shift, just because He's like, hey man, sorry, it just yesterday sucked. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But yeah, so pizza delivery, that's something Kevin and I share in common. We both worked that job for a while, not together, unfortunately.
Yeah, we were not together and
different
not at the same pizza place.
But we could compare them, see how they were, I guess.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, I technically worked at 2 pizza places. The same pizza place, but 2 different locations.
2 different locations, yeah.
I worked at a couple Papa John's, and Ben worked at some Domino's, or a Domino's.
Domino's Pizza, yep.
I think I like Domino's Pizza better than Papa John's Pizza.
That's so funny. I prefer Papa John's Pizza to Domino's. We should have been working at the other ones. I can't believe that.
I might actually try to get a job at Domino's because
they're hiring like crazy.
Well, Brasket works at the one in Harrisburg,
yeah.
And I think he might become a GM pretty soon because both the this is gossip.
Yeah, gossip here, gossip section. I'll throw up a disclaimer here. Go ahead.
So the manager there and the general manager both leaving. And they're like moving and going somewhere or whatever.
So even if you just
it's just open spots.
Yeah, that's crazy. We were talking about this was on the news, not to deviate too far from pizza delivery, but I forget where Utah. No, it's Oregon maybe. But there's literally they're debating some bill. I'm trying to remember what it was. It wasn't weed related. It was some bill.
I know San Francisco just banned e-cigarette sales.
Yeah, that was a huge thing too. But it was Oregon or somewhere, some states. And I apologize for not having all the information here in front of me, but they were like voting on something, and a bunch of the senators just went into hiding and went out of state. Yeah, because they were like they didn't have enough Democrats or something for the vote. Not that I know anything about politics, guys, sorry. But they didn't have enough people, and they knew if they went into the like meeting that they were going to lose their stance or whatever. So a bunch of them just ran out of the state and are hiding, and they're sending police like to go look for them. It's crazy. They did a video call with someone on the news I was watching, and he was like, "Can you tell us where you are?" He was like, "All I'm saying is I'm by a cottage on the lake," or something like that. And he was like, "This is and they were like, "Aren't you worried about protecting the values of democracy?" And he was like, "This is democracy. I will not be in the court of law," or something like that. It was crazy. I was sitting there like, your job is to be a senator, and you're literally running away so that you don't have to participate, and so like you're like, it's basically the equivalent of a toddler being like, "No, I will not do that."
Well, it's also kind of like they know that they don't have the pull and they don't have like the numbers to pass something through, and so they're like, "All right, well, I'm just gonna delay it as long as I can."
Yeah, it's crazy. So my dad joked about we should go to that state and be like, "Hey,
we're the senator.
Heard you need a couple senators. We could just work their job because that'd be a pretty sweet job, probably. I don't know." Anyway, so so Kevin worked at Papa John's. I worked at Domino's. I'm curious to see like what did the hiring process look like for you?
For the first one or the second one?
First one. First time working at a Papa John's.
First one, well, they were pretty similar to be honest. But my friend Michael, who works at the one, or he used to work with me at the one Papa John's, he told his boss, like his manager or whatever, I think his name was Tyler. He's like, "Hey, I got a buddy who's looking to have a job, whatever. I know we're hiring." He's like, "All right, we'll just have him send an application." So I sent one in, and then I got a call like a week later or so, and he's like, "Hey, Kevin, this is Tyler, whatever, come in." And so I went down and like sat in the office with him as like a little tiny like little thing
in the actual Papa John's.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like went to like the back or whatever and like sat down with him and like talked like a little bit. And he was like, "Okay, whatever, that's good." Like barely talked at all. And he was like, "All right, we'll get you back in, whatever, to do some paperwork."
Right.
And so I left and then came back the next day and like no one was there. I don't know if they were like closed or like what was going on yet. But I went in and there was like a little desk where I like filled out paperwork and filled out my phone number and all that. And then I just sat at this desk and put in some like rinky-dink headphones and listened to like the videos.
Oh, okay, so they did have videos for free too. So the reason I asked is because at Domino's, very similar story. Had a friend that worked there, recommended me to the manager, sent in an application. But every weekend, I guess, they run a training camp. Like every single weekend, there's a main hub building here in Charlotte where they send you to, and it's literally like a day school. You show up there, there's all other like applications, I guess, people that are trying to get the job, and they went through the videos and the paperwork with all of us in a classroom environment, like with a projector and everything. And it was, one, bizarre, completely crazy, but two, one of the most legit job hired training sessions I've ever had, and it was for a pizza delivery job, which I did not expect whatsoever, right? I expected kind of like similar, like all right, come in, fill in paperwork, I'll show you around the shop, like kind of whatever. Because when I worked at Discount Tire, I wore like a nice outfit, brought in my resume, and I handed it to the manager at the time, and he looked at it and was like, oh yeah, you won't be needing that. And it was like, this is not going to be a typical interview. Basically, here's how much you're making, you're hired. And it was like, when can you start? And I was just like, well, that was easy.
No.
And so the fact that they like have this legit facility, you know, and they pay people out there to like train people, it was pretty wild. And I was honestly impressed. It's right next to a restaurant, Domino's, and for lunch they serve pizza, obviously. Oh, nice. But yeah, I mean, honestly, out of all the jobs I've worked, other than probably LCB, still my favorite, dude, I loved being a pizza delivery driver. Dude. It was the interactions with people, not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Occasionally, you'd have like kind of a shady character, or you'd have an issue with the order. Those were always awkward. I had a few where it was like they didn't print something that was supposed to be like with the rest of the stuff. So you'd be like, I'm so sorry, I'll go back, and then occasionally even redeliver to the place. But yeah, the interactions with people, super solid. The actual work itself, dude, getting to drive and listen to my own music. And when you drive constantly through the shift, because it was always busy. I don't know how it was at Papa John's, but there was never a moment where I couldn't be delivering. Maybe occasionally like a 20-minute gap here or there. So you're just in and out, in and out, in and out. And it makes your shift go by so quick. I mean, you'd work an 8-hour shift, and it would go by like nothing. So I loved that job personally. I don't know.
Honestly, yeah. I loved Papa John's the first time around because the tips were really good.
Yeah, that's another thing that's kind of nice too. It's like not necessarily knowing how much money you're gonna get going into the night. You know, this occasionally you'd get like no tip, and you're like, that sucks. But then you get like a $10 tip, and you're like,
$10 is like, that's like a pretty generous tip.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if you order pizza like at all, around like $5 is like a decent.
Yeah, I think the lowest I've ever gone is $3. And even that was for one pizza. Yeah, it was a large pizza, but still. And it's not even because, I don't know, maybe we're biased from the position we are, but like, and they say this all the time, and I don't know, you could be on either side of the fence, I guess, but that's literally how like delivery drivers make money. The hourly wage is low.
It's like $2 and some change when you're driving on the road.
Yeah,
and then when you're in store, it's like
$6. Or this was a Domino's or something. So it's not that, you know, without the tips, it really hurts. The thing that I hate from the consumer standpoint is they already charge a delivery fee, right? So a lot of people look at that as like, well, I had to pay a delivery fee. Why am I now also expected to tip? And what happened at Domino's, at least, is every delivery we made, they'd give you $1. So that $1 we got was what we were getting compensated for that delivery fee, and Domino's basically collected the rest.
Gosh. So I'm not sure what we did. I know they gave. I mean, it's probably the same for every single place. You just cash out at the end of your shift.
Yeah.
Then they give you the money, like all your tips, and then I think you got your gas money back. I think you got that on the check.
Yeah, gas money is compensated, or mileage is compensated. Yeah. So it was a cool job too, because like I only worked there for like 3 weeks because I got in a car accident, not on the job, which is tragic because I'd probably still be working there today, honestly. But in those 3 weeks, there was literally repeat customers. I would go to a few of the same people's houses and like be like, oh, hey Frank, or like whatever, you know. It's just crazy, and I didn't expect that at all either. I was like, how many people can really be ordering pizza from a Domino's? It's literally constant orders. It's nuts. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think the one that your store was at, though, I mean, that's probably hard to get in and out of, I think.
It's not too bad, but yeah, the way the traffic pattern is the road it is off of is busy around, you know, critical times, like 5, like people coming home from work. But also, you can't turn into it, really. Like, you have to either turn left at a light and then turn into the section, or do a U-turn and then turn into it's the whole thing. But no, it wasn't too bad. Did you ever have to take multiple deliveries on one run?
Yeah, like honestly, like every single delivery I had.
Really? Yeah, at first I didn't do that a lot.
If it was ever like, whenever it was like super slow, like maybe 1 or 2 orders come in, like, and then, you know, make them and then take them out. That was like really the only times that I would take like 1 order out.
Yeah.
Or like 2 if it was just me there. But honestly, most of the time it was like 2-3 orders at a time. Because you just get as much as you can, and then...
Yeah, and we could route ourselves, but also usually the manager would come back. see the location on the map of all the orders, and then if they were close enough by, he would just send you with your.
That's what I would do. I would say like, all right, so here's one order, here's another order, here's another order. I'm gonna take these 3 instead of having to go here and then over here and then back over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so it's a sort of.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a sweet gig. There was obviously a discount on pizza. You know what we should do for the audience is let's get them divided on us right now. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well they're not going to be that divided against us then, because I also agree. And if you don't agree,
I had pineapple pizza
you don't
like
deserve
2
it.
days ago.
It's good, dude. I like it. I'm all for it. Someone said, was it you? Someone sent me something about pickles on pizza recently. I think you posted it.
I think I might have shared it. It's some company, some restaurant, I don't know where, but they made some like pickle pizza, and it was like cheese and pickles and like ham or whatever. So it's basically like ham and cheese flatbread.
I'd eat the crap out of that, yeah.
But
that sounds good.
I don't know. It looked really good.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I like pickles a lot. So.
Yeah, honestly, same. But
yeah, I don't know. Well, never mind. I thought there maybe would be some controversy there. I guess if you guys disagree, you're just bad. And
well, it's just because pineapples like have like a naturally like sweet whatever they whatever their juice is sweet like that. Itself is sweet, and then you have like the sort of like saltiness
tangy
and
salty
tang of like the It just.
I mean, people eat peanut butter and. Well, no, peanut butter and apples is normal. What's the weird one? Cheese and apples. That's a thing. Cheese and apple.
I thought you were gonna say peanut butter and pickles. I also do that.
Is that a thing? Yeah. Kevin, all right, you guys will learn too. I don't know how much it'll come up, but probably a lot. Kevin will try any combination of foods just because he's curious. He'll be like, I wonder what this would taste like. And sometimes he'll propose it. Sometimes he'll propose it without any food near him either. He'll just be thinking to himself, I wonder how celery would taste with barbecue sauce or like something like that. It's great.
Well, celery itself doesn't taste like much, so if you paired it with barbecue sauce, barbecue sauce is so like strong that it would just taste like barbecue sauce.
It would be like if you were eating barbecue wings, right? And then there was some sauce.
Maybe if you poured like a little bit so if you took like a long thing
here
of
we
celery,
go. Yeah.
Put some like barbecue sauce in it, like whatever. Put some like ranch on top. Maybe put like some hot sauce strap with it.
Your body
buffalo wing.
That'd be good. I'm gonna raise you
celery.
I'm gonna raise you one stick farther. You get a really big piece of celery, and that's your sauce.
A square, a circle celery.
Circle celery. Okay. No, it's still the normal shape. You know, it's like a U though. It's a sauce trough, dude. You put your hot sauce in one end, some ranch in the middle, and then you can just dip your wings inside the celery.
Do they have celeries that's that big though?
Probably not. But you probably could also just use a cup.
But see, like celery, throw some ranch in there, some like buffalo hot sauce.
I'm down, dude.
It's like buffalo ranch wings.
I have all of those things downstairs right now.
Dude, what are we still doing here?
Fade transition. We're here with plates and celery. It's like, hey guys, this is happening.
We did something.
I don't know. Let us know. Let us know in the. I watched a thing recently too. Like, comment if you guys have weird food combos. One, Kevin would love to try.
Honestly, I'll try them out on camera. Shoot, you got a weird thing that you love to do? Honestly, one time I tried cereal and milk with ice cubes in it. That was great. Was that? They all think I'm crazy.
I've never heard of that one. Here's one a lot of people argue about, and I unfortunately support is peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich.
I've seen that a lot, but I don't know. I can't.
Madison got me on them. Big bodybuilder dude, one of our friends. And at first, I was just kind of like, it's okay, I can tolerate it, but why not just have PB&J? But as I kept eating them under his pressure, they were. I was like, yeah, I can see it. I get it. It's kind of gross now to think about.
I'm not a huge fan of mayo to begin with, but I mean, I'd be down to try it.
Dude, I'm disgustingly in love with mayonnaise. Unfortunately.
Have you tried Chick-fil-A's mayonnaise?
Yeah, it's good.
I haven't tried it. I was just asking if you tried it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite sauce from Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A sauce, easily. Okay. I could drink Chick-fil-A sauce. If you guys don't have a Chick-fil-A, I'm sorry, by the way. But
have you had their honey roasted barbecue sauce?
No.
It's pretty good.
I've heard it's good. I like their buffalo at Chick-fil-A a lot, too. Yeah. It's really tangy. And then I
like to mix the buffalo in the Chick-fil-A sauce, get like spicy Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. I do buffalo and mayo sometimes, too. Polynesian's just kind of whatever.
Honestly, I don't think Polynesian tastes like anything. It
just kind of tastes like subtle sweet.
It's just like I don't know. Every single time I like dip a fried Polynesian or anything, I can't taste anything. It's just nothing. I don't understand it. But.
This will probably be one of my last food related remarks. But recently, my mom, I don't really like vinaigrette or like oily salad dressings. I just typical like ranch guy or Caesar dressing, right? Caesar I'm totally good with. But my mom recently introduced me to like this white shallot reduction vinaigrette or something, and I know this means nothing to any of you, but it was really good. I was expecting to hate it, and it was like creamy, and I was like, I could eat that.
Could be good. I don't know.
Yeah, anyway. Today for lunch, we had, because again, this is still the same office day, but we had sloppy joes and mac and cheese. Pretty much the epitome of, like...
That's pretty good.
Food truck food.
I mean, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoyed it too. It's just cheapy. I mean, my wife and I grocery shop now for most of our meals, just for, like, cost effectiveness and trying to be, like, healthier. But we still buy, like, quick throwaway foods just in case there's, like, a gap in our plan.
I haven't had like a Kraft like single slice of cheese in a while, and so putting that on the sloppy joe, that was like really good.
Yeah,
I forgot.
God, that cheese is so fakey though too. I had been living off that cheese in meals for a while now, and just recently, my wife came home the other day with blocks of cheese, like actual like Colby Jack and cheddar or whatever. Like you got to take a knife to it and eat it on crackers or whatever, and I just, ever since, I can't. I mean, I can still do the Kraft, but it just doesn't do it for me, like, cheese-wise.
So, Kraft, like, the singles, that's the best kind of cheese if you want to, like, put it on, like, a burger.
Yeah. It's, like, meltable.
Well, yeah, because it keeps its shape as it melts. Mm-hmm. But if you use, like,
shredded
Colby
cheese.
Jack or, like, shredded or, I don't know, it's, like, some other random, like, slice of cheese, yeah, it'll just sort of, like, make a mess.
Gotcha.
But Kraft singles, American cheese, that's the only one that if you're, like, grilling or whatever, just throw it on that burger, it'll just keep its shape.
Huh.
You can even honestly like put it in like a pan on the stove, and it'll just keep that square shape.
There you have it.
Random fun fact.
Yeah. Dude, switching gears here a little bit to like games, right? Mm-hmm. This is going to be coming out before the other videos we shot today. We filmed some pretty good videos, I would say. I mean, I haven't edited them yet, but the games we played were hilarious today. First and foremost, we started a series in Ratchet and Clank on the PS4. Which, if you're thinking, wasn't it out in like 2016? Yes, it's an older release, okay? But Kevin's never played it. I had never played it up until like a week ago, and I fell in love with it. And it just hits you and all the nostalgic vibes, or at least it did for me. Kevin was kind of like, "What?"
I mean, I thought it was cool.
Yeah. I would say it's definitely more of a like. It's definitely a step away from like competitive multiplayers, right? And it's got some story. It's kind of kid version story, but we had a good time with it. Kevin was, nailing the levels. We found some interesting looking monsters. Or aliens, I guess. The blargs. Yeah, that's a whole thing that you guys will see in the videos. But by far, best video we filmed today was Super Bunny Man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That video, if you guys, I don't know. You guys are going to like that one for sure, I think. It's a blast.
Gosh, that one, it's irresponsible.
it's honestly, it hurt me. So the other things, I had seen the game. I had seen, people that I like to watch on YouTube play it. And instantly when I saw it, the first thing I thought was, me and Kevin need to play this game. And it does not disappoint. It's a lot of fun. That's for sure.
Y'all should be seeing that fairly soon, maybe?
Yeah, it should be, if you're watching this, the day that it premieres, it'll be out on Friday, probably. So, a few more days, but...
Keep an eye out for that.
Yep, and it'll all be on the website, too. So, if you're ever confused about where content's getting uploaded or when or anything like that, website should be a good location for that. But yeah, that being said, that game is fun. We also had a lot of technical difficulties to kind of sort out today. Kevin hopefully didn't see too much of that side of it. I was trying to, make sure to manage it so Kevin doesn't hate doing this kind of thing. I think we had the game crashed at one point, so we had to start over. I had to go to the bathroom, which isn't so much a technical difficulty as much as a physical difficulty.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I also had to go to the bathroom.
But, yeah. So that was really fun. Those were cool games, and honestly, too, if you guys have ideas for other games you want to see, I know it's early for that kind of thing probably since we're just getting started, but feel free to let us know in the comments. I mean, now that you guys have seen the kind of style of video we've been shooting, we're always open to trying more stuff. I want to add, more and more relevant titles to the list as we go. But obviously we're working with what we have too. We can only capture one perspective right now. The video game budget isn't exactly plentiful, so it's, that kind of stuff. But we're going to try to stay on top of new releases whenever we can, as long as we keep doing this. But I had a good time. I think it was good. Might record one other video after this podcast is over with today.
Possibly. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure if it would work, but Master Chief Collection, do like a side by side, whatever.
Yeah, that'd be
split
fun.
screen.
We could do. Well, so that's the thing. We can easily do any split screen, and just for the sake of the video, it might be it would be better if we would do multiplayer and then two. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll do like a skull challenge in Halo or something. I never really did too much of that growing up. Again, multiplayer,
like a time trial type thing.
Yeah, I think Halo Reach is really kind of when I started getting into multiplayer.
Yeah.
Reach also had some good skulls. My favorite skull location in all of Halo, I think it was Halo. It must have been. Was it Halo 2 with the big beetle thing that walks through the city? Halo, I think that's Halo 2, right?
The one, yeah, I think one of the only skull locations that I can remember is in Halo 3. It's up on like some pipe. You have to go like way out.
Yeah, of the way. There's a lot of crazy ones. The one in 2, you had to do a grenade jump to get on top of a ledge, and that was just so cool to me to like learn.
Was that the one right at the beginning of the level?
Yeah, right at the beginning. You jump on the ledge, and then you grenade jump again to get on top. And after you get the skull, I think it was the blind skull. You can also continue to traverse across the rooftops using more grenade jumps and other cool strategies. And there's like an Easter egg with a Halo sword, and you can skip a large portion of the level. And I don't know. I always loved that kind of thing in games, like glitches or hidden, mostly Easter eggs. Glitches are cool because it's like an exploit, but Easter eggs, and Halo's always been full of awesome Easter eggs. Was always something I always thought was really cool.
They're honestly like, they probably weren't the first game or like company or whatever to do Easter eggs. But like when I think of Easter eggs, I really think of Halo.
Yeah, I mean like Assassin's Creed is also really known for them, and a lot of game studios get clever. Have gotten clever with it. They're subtle, right? So sometimes it's just dialogue, but like they'll say something that's a reference to something else. But I always loved the physical ones. Like if you did something just right, you could go down a different passageway, and then at the end was like Halo. I want to say it was 3 had some crazy developer room or something. You could like, by hitting these buttons you couldn't see or something, it would unlock a room where they had like the names of all the developers on the screens or something like that. It's crazy.
I know. Gosh, what? Oh man, there was. Oh man, I have 2 different stories. I guess I'll tell the one while I try to remember the other. But I remember, I think it was like back in like Halo 2 days. There was this one map where I think the map was kind of like in like a little L shape, and there was like videos all over YouTube, and it was like, oh, get the golden warthog, whatever, behind the behind the wall, behind the game.
I know that one, or like there was a golden gun on one of them too, like a golden plasma pistol or something at the top of it. That's cool, man. That's cool. There's Grunt Birthday Party is obviously a very infamous one. Those are good games, man. Good times too. I guess there's the new one. Yeah, new one coming out. Got announced at
Halo
E3.
Infinite. I think it's coming out next year.
It looks good. It's coming out with the release of the what's it called? Scarlet?
Project Scarlet. I don't think that's going to be like the final
name. I don't think that's the final name either, but 2020 unfortunately, and I was just thinking the other day, like I have an Xbox One S. That's what I do a lot of my gaming on the console. And I wanted an X, but like whatever. This Scarlet one is supposed to be so much better than the X is. I'm like, dude, 2020 comes around, I'm just gonna get that one. Dude, how expensive do you think it's gonna be? It's
probably gonna be
like a computer, dude. I don't want it to be in the thousands. I wouldn't be surprised if it was close to 1,000 though, which is concerning because the One X was 500, but like, and that was a big step for consoles, right? That was like, oh my god, and people were pissed.
I mean, if it's as good as they're saying it is, I could see like 1,500.
Because they're saying it's capable of 8K, which is ridiculous. But even just 4K gaming at 60 FPS in and of itself, I mean, to get that kind of results in a PC, like you're going to be spending a good chunk of change, you know? Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what the price point's going to be. I'm just going to start putting away a penny here and there now until they releases, because that is definitely... I'm not going to miss that console like I missed the X. I'm definitely going to get that one.
Yeah, I think I came to the X a little bit later than I could, because I had PlayStation 4 first.
Yeah.
And then I came to the X. I think I was with you guys, actually. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy the Xbox. Yeah. I think I was with you and Parker, and we'd whatever downstairs playing Halo or something.
Yeah.
And I dropped it on the way up my driveway.
Yeah, I remember that. That was so sad. Kevin just got his new Xbox.
And he was walking. Fell his driveway, out of the bottom.
Your driveway is like at a 70-degree angle. It's crazy.
I don't know.
It's a really steep hill. So Kevin's walking up, and it's nighttime, and all of a sudden we just hear a crash, and we look, and his Xbox console is laying on the driveway.
It just fell.
Luckily not broken, but
that I know of.
Yeah,
I mean, it works fine,
but it's also all you've ever really known.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was a heart-wrenching moment for all of us in the car because we just felt so bad, but also it was awkward. We were just like, what do you do? But yeah, luckily, I mean, you're still able to play it and everything. Yeah,
it's all good though.
So Halo's coming out. Super stoked for that. That's going to be insane. If you haven't seen the trailer for it, it looks really good. Return of Master Chief. Master Chief's. I mean, he was in 4 though, wasn't he? Or 5. He was in 5.
Yeah.
Guardians.
Well, I can't remember 5 storyline.
I never played the storyline of 5. I need to. I have.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I like the multiplayer. Honestly, I just like ADSing. It's like a thing in that game, right?
Yeah.
You can like ADS and then hover in the air.
I think it was in 4 as well.
Yeah.
Or was it in 4?
Maybe, I don't know. I honestly I played through 4, but I also didn't do multiplayer in 4. So
I think it was in 4. I remember, gosh, the Halo Chief Master Chief collection, like being able to play all of them. Oh, it's so nice, good.
I know we should be hitting that up too because I love Halo, and I was just thinking like the other day, man, I've played through all the Halo games, but some of them less than others, and I don't really remember too much of what's going on. So at least in preparation for the new Halo Infinite game, would be a good idea.
Been playing a little bit of Borderlands 2 to try to get ready for Borderlands 3.
Dude, I recently hit up Borderlands 2 hard on stream, and it is so good. I had never played really though either. I played Borderlands 2, but I'd never played the first one. So I played through the first one, played through the second one. I still don't have, or I do have it, but I still haven't played the prequel. Pre-sequel, that one, yeah.
I have it, but I don't know. I'd rather play the second one.
Mm-hmm. Well, they released new content for the second one too. New raid boss, I guess. Other than that, another E3 release I'm excited for is Gears. Gears of War 5 looks awesome. They have a Gears has always kind of had like a horde mode. That's kind of what they're known for, but now they're coming out with like this escape the room kind of thing, where you have to like work together as a team, survive waves, and try to like get out or whatever. It looks awesome, and I'm ashamed to admit this with it being one of my favorite game series, but I never finished off the newest one, 4. I got like 80% of the way in the campaign, and then something happened, and I had to stop.
I've only played all of 1, and I don't think I played any other Gears game.
Well, 1 is good. 1's really good. I think 3 out of the trilogy is probably the best. I've never finished 4, so I'm going to replay that obviously before 5 comes out. And then Judgment is just different. It's good, but it's different. And then there was one other, Cyberpunk. Have you seen anything on Cyberpunk?
I've seen the like clip where Keanu Reeves is like, "We got a city to burn."
You're breathtaking,
cowboy.
Yeah,
but that's all I've seen. I don't even know what it's about, really.
I don't either. I know there's a lot of nudity in it. So hey now, no, but it's like a futuristic, super violent, like GTA on steroids, I think, kind of deal.
Could be good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in it for sure. God, what else was there? There was some other. Honestly, one of the games I've been playing the most of lately is Apex Legends. Like it, love it, hate it, whatever. I'm addicted to it. I love. First off, how did I not talk about this on Point 1 episode? Titanfall. One of the Titanfall is one of the biggest games in my heart. I love Titanfall 1. Titanfall 2's campaign, still to this day, one of my favorite shooting campaigns of all time. It's pretty short, but it is impactful, and it's just good. It's just fun. So when I heard that Titanfall devs were working on Apex, immediately I was intrigued. I also found out the day it was released, so I immediately tried it and was like, this is awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's had its ups and downs with content and with issues, and people are kind of all over divided about it. But season 2 is coming out in 6 days.
It was already out.
No, July 2nd is when it comes out, and I'm not going to be here to play when it first comes. It's going to be a new legend, Watson. They look awesome, and just better overall. They addressed a lot of the concerns the community had about the content in the Battle Pass, so
yeah.
I'm excited. That's going to be a big thing for me and for a lot of my friends that play too. So.
I honestly don't play too often. I play every now and then, like with my cousin or with his buddies or with like y'all. But it's not something that I'm super into. I mean, God, don't crucify me in the comments, but been getting back into Fortnite a little bit. I know you don't really care.
So it's not the Battle Royale genre that you're getting sick of. It's just you prefer Fortnite to Apex.
Well, I don't know if I prefer it. It's just I've been getting into it because I like people that play it, and it's like, oh, play with people.
I think it has its most potential for me to enjoy it with people, for sure. But I just can't do it anymore, man. But I am interested, like, I do like I like to hear perspectives of people that do enjoy the game. The last time I tried to boot it up on my Xbox, it ran and looked like garbage. I don't know what happened, because that game used to be like, I remember when it went to 60 FPS like early on in its dev days, and I was like, wow, this looks really good. So maybe that was just a bad experience with it then or something, but like a laggy server, I don't know. But it just doesn't interest me the same way anymore. I don't know. It doesn't feel as competitive for me as like a first-person alternative.
Yeah, this is like I was saying to you the other day. It's it really seems like the skill level, like the not the cap, but like the level is sort of like averaged out.
Right.
Because it used to be like everyone was like bad at
either horrible or like super good.
Yeah, it was like, everyone was bad, and then like everyone was whatever, and then there was like a huge gap. Like everyone's like whipping around building and doing this, that, and the other, and then it's sort of like slowly kind of. Yeah. I mean, people still like build a lot, but it's sort of definitely leveled out.
It felt like for me, especially viewing the content, because a lot of my favorite streamers, that's like what they stream. So I'm like, but it felt like there was a shift, right? Because building's always been a big component of the game. People are always getting into build battles, but it felt like there was a shift where it went from like build battles to edits. Like how like people are insane with their editing and traps and like shooting people out, and like when that shift in my heart happened, that's when I was just like, dude, I'm out. I was like, building is one thing. I was kind of starting to get good at it when I would play Fortnite a lot on stream, but I don't know. And then you just started adding like the vehicles and like the different weapons, and it kind of had the effect that it had for the people that enjoyed Fortnite. It kind of had the opposite effect for me. I felt more disconnected as more seasons came out, and I played the first 5 seasons like really religiously. So, but it doesn't bother. I mean, it's whatever. I'm still obviously Fortnite is huge, crazy. I mean, we could do a whole podcast alone on what Fortnite has done for Twitch, for gaming, battle royales genre. I mean, for Epic, and so. I mean, it's still amazing. I'm never going to take away like the credit that Fortnite deserves, but for me, I just feel like it's run its course. I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, Fortnite. Yeah, I'm just. And meanwhile, Apex has been out since what, February, I think? February 2nd, maybe, somewhere in there. So it's still pretty early in its life, and I don't know. It's just maybe honestly, it's just the disconnect between third person and first person. Like the first person shooter just feels. I grew up playing Call of Duty. I think there's still a decent level of bull crappery in Apex. Like sometimes you'll get shot through a door just because like server lag, but like for the most part, the game holds up performance wise. I feel like it's very dry cut, bare bones. You get what you get. You kind of know what the rules are going into it, and because of that, I feel like it's much more like opportunity for outplays. And I guess in Fortnite, there's a lot of things you can do, right? They have like when impulse grenades first came into the game. Yeah. Oh my god, dude! The clips on Twitter with impulse grenades was insane.
Two people, whatever, up in a thing, you toss a grenade over, and
just
shoot them out in the storm.
Yeah, and so there's definitely still skill. There's probably even more there, like potential for outplays, but something about just like, I'm a Pathfinder. There's a lifeline in front of me. They have purple shields. I have blue shields. Like understanding the battle situation and having to think about what's your best opportunity for success there. I don't know. Basically, I'm in love with it, and I'm super biased. But to each their own, I mean, I really enjoy it. I have a really fun time playing with people. I love the forced like squad aspect of it. I do still wish there would be some solos and duos in the game though.
Yeah, besides just the trio.
Especially duos. I know solos would be kind of tough because they'd have to rework it a little bit. Like some characters' abilities would be kind of broken. Lifeline, for example. I mean, I guess you could still use your heal bot. Who else would be broken? I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are.
It would be alright. There was some there. I forget now. It's been a while since we even thought about it. There was some mechanic of the game that would have to be shifted around, but I would love it. I mean, I played Fortnite. I would say 80% of my time on Fortnite was played solo. 20% was in squads. Yeah, occasional duos, but
they brought trios in for a little bit. It's like one of like the limited time things. They switch it out, and I love it every time it's in there because we only have really like 3 people that we play with.
Well, and of course, all the Apex fans will be like, copycats. But yeah, and like I saw, like I don't know, every once in a while, because of all the people I follow on Twitter and stuff, I'll see like the changes, like the storm grenades and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it as a game of me probably getting back into it. I would play it like if people I wanted to play with were playing it, you, Woody, all them. But and that being said, I spent a lot of money in Fortnite. Like I was really all about Fortnite. I had some really good times in Fortnite too, and like friends that I'd play the game with. So it is what it is, I guess. I think for the most part, everyone kind of grows out of certain games.
Yeah, but
not Minecraft.
Not Minecraft. Minecraft is never gonna die.
Minecraft is the supreme leader of all video games.
It might have a little bit of a lull, but it's gonna shoot right back up.
Yeah. It's like, oh, they added llamas, dude. When they added llamas, that was a big update. Their new update's huge. Their ocean one, it's insane.
Yeah, it's with all like the fish and the turtles and all
yeah,
that.
Yep. You can literally catch fish in buckets. You can like, it's crazy. There's a lot of stuff they added in this most recent one that's big. But
I remember back when they introduced like horses.
Dude, there never used to be horses, and then they added horses, and I was like,
God, they made a whole South Park episode based on it.
Really?
Do you remember that?
I'd never really been that much into South Park.
What like the password for his computer or whatever. Like the hint was like, how do you tame a horse in Minecraft or something? And his dad like couldn't figure it out. It's been a while since I saw it. But
that's hilarious.
Just how do you tame
Dude,
a horse?
Parents, one thing that will stay universal, just like Minecraft is an awesome game. Parents never know what the heck is happening. Dude, and I have first-hand experience working with parents whose kids are obsessed with Minecraft. Never have any idea. But there would all the time we'd have like moms come to pick up their kids from our camp. And there would be a kid like,
so what type of game is this?
Yeah, or they'd be like, the kid would be like, Mom, look, I'm fighting an Enderman, and she'd be like, oh wow, cool, and look up at us
killing
like,
a man.
like, Mom, look at this sword. It's like, I didn't think there were weapons in this game. It's like, now there's crossbows.
Yeah,
it's cool.
You gotta,
cock it back, and I don't know. I love survival just as much as I love creative. It's just a good all around game.
I need to get on and actually like do like a classic survival world soon.
Yeah,
haven't done it in a while.
Dude, you know what was actually really fun too that I recently discovered? Monopoly on the Xbox.
Really?
So
I feel like it would take forever though.
It's not as bad. We played, so they had some weird rules on the version we played because it was like a fast round where they had a specific like third dice to like make the game go quicker. I wasn't too fond of that part because it would do some pretty weird like wacky things, but it's fun, dude. Something about sitting in a room and like playing a board game but in a digital format was just so chill.
Like Catan on the Switch.
When's that coming?
It's coming up pretty soon, I think. What's it called? Tabletop Sim. We could all get that.
Parker's been trying to work that angle for a while.
Tabletop Sim. We could all play Catan. We could play literally any board game.
Yeah,
just in our home.
I haven't seen too much about that game. The last simulator game I've played was Hand Simulator. Hand Simulator, yeah. That game is not easy. It's like the Mechanics of Surgeon Simulator, which awesome classic game, of course, but more in depth. And there's like challenges to like pick up a gun and reload it, and then shoot things. And there's all sorts of things. That game's wacky.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I haven't played Surgeon Sim in a minute. I just remember it being really hard.
It was pretty hard. They had so many cool things come out for that game. They had like a VR version come out. They had a co-op mode added, so you can each control an arm, which
that seems like it'd be really hard.
Future video. I think that would be one that we could do because it's one screen. Yeah. So we should do it. Yeah, that's really cool for that game for sure. Like I'm super happy that it continues to be built up and built on. I don't know. What are you craving? What are you looking for in your next couple games, Kev?
Shoot, I don't really know. Just whatever comes around.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just play whatever comes around.
It's kind of, I play whatever I can really get my hands on. I recently got into Planet Coaster. Completely random genre, but man, it's a fun game. I never played like Scream Ride or Thrillville or any of those other like park building games growing up, and this one is super detailed. And actually, at E3, the same people announced they're going to be building a zoo building game, Zoo Tycoon. Okay. Planet Zoo. Yeah. And it looks awesome. Like the thought of like having to set up and build like a tiger pen and then take care of the animals, like it just seems really cool. So.
Dope.
I'm always looking for the newest and greatest thing in gaming, but yeah, for right now, for me, it's Rocket League, Apex Legends. Those are like my multiplayer ones I go to. That roller derby one was good too. I don't know if you ever had a chance to play it during the weekend or whatever, but that was actually really good. I could see that being It's not gonna dethrone Rocket League like they claimed, but it's gonna be good.
Rocket League is also a great game.
So good. The esports for Rocket League. Oh my god! Like when I think of esports, I think Rocket League is pioneering the way to do it, and have been for the longest time. It's so sick, dude. The fans get crazy, and maybe it's because of how similar it is to actual sports, like soccer, kind of.
Yeah.
A team versus team based format, but yeah, I mean, Rocket League. I think. Of all the games I've played, that might be the game I still have the most hours in. We went crazy on Rocket League for a while. There was a big stretch of time that we would come home, and every day a squad of us would play Rocket League for a couple hours.
RL question mark?
Yeah, I know. And I still love the game. Really great game. Love it. Best esports, in my opinion, or at least one of the best esports. Absolute worst community in gaming of all time. Like hashtag real talk. Like it's got to go. We got to do something. And I know we're a small community here, at least for now, but like the positivity needs to start spreading in gaming, man. There is like so much toxicity in Rocket League. It's not even fun to play sometimes. And I know people are like, well, just turn off the chat. But literally, like, there's no voice comms with random people in that game. There are, but they're garbage. So if you turn off chat, you're literally at a disadvantage. But if you mess up, you're literally going to get spammed with what a save, or like literally someone's going to attack you verbally.
Wow.
Yeah, and say you suck and you're trash and like kill yourself and stuff. It's horrible, man. So I don't know. I'm at odds with that game. I haven't been playing it as much as I was just because.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a minute, honestly.
I'm kind of comfortable with where my skill's at in the game right now, but the community is just so toxic. It's bad.
Just can't do it.
Yeah, but shout out to the positivity YouTubers that are out
Power
there
positivity.
Yeah, man, we got to spread that love. Honestly, and then even the other day in Apex, it was on stream. It was funny. I had a guy who was just so toxic. Like we landed, I happened to get a purple chest right before him, and from that moment on, it was just like these losers on my team. I'll steal on my loot, blah blah blah, all this stuff, and so I let myself get into it a little bit more than I probably should have, and kind of talked to them, and I was like, it's not fair, he was probably having a bad day, just got laid off from work or something, wanted to come home and play Apex.
There was so we were playing Fortnite the other night, and it was me, two guys that I used to work with, and then we had like a random, and we landed like Pleasant, and it was like a kid because he was talking like towards the end, and he was like, oh man, they got me or whatever, He's like, oh da. And one of the guys that I was playing with like started like yelling at the kid, kind of like, oh shut up, and I was like, dude, he's just a kid. What do you? Yeah, well, screw kids. I was like, dude, he's a kid. He sounds like he's like 6 years old.
Yeah,
like
I know it was bad back in the Call of Duty days when it was like F your mom, like it was really bad growing up in like console gaming and stuff. But as an adult, it just seems so much worse to me now, like than how it was growing up. I don't know.
I mean, it's gotten a little bit better, but it's also gotten a lot worse.
Yeah. So. That being said, I would love to develop a game someday. Maybe not even like multiplayer just seems too much, but like a fun little like indie game would be cool. Like, have you seen Inside? It's the sequel to Limbo.
I have not. Have you seen Resogun?
I have not heard of this Resogun.
Oh well, boy, let me tell you.
Throwback to earlier today in our .1 episode of the podcast.
Such a good game.
Sounds like a Super Meat Boy-esque kind of.
It's you'll just have to see. It's like I don't know. It's kind of like on a swivel, and it's really weird. It's good.
Cool. Well, that probably about sums it up for me this week. Do you have anything else you want to share with the community before?
I don't know. Just keep on keeping on.
Yeah. Whatever you're facing this week, just do it. In the words of Shia LaBeouf.
Do it.
And sincerely, thank you guys for taking time out of your day to spend with us in the podcast. Hope you guys are still enjoying them. If you guys have recommendations or questions or anything like that, leave them in the comments down below. We'll be reading the comments. At least, I know I will, but I'm sure Kevin will be as well. And other than that, just look out for the changes on the website coming out soon. Hopefully everything's going to be looking good on there for you guys. That way you have kind of a more concise platform for the podcast, live streams, the YouTube vids and all that. I'd love to do merchandise in the future. Just personal passion for my live stream community, but also just it's cool, man. Screen printing and doing something businessy. So You never know. But basically, thank you guys. The more support you guys show, the more that we can do. So share the podcast. Make sure you come back next week, same time, same place.
Like, comment, favorite, subscribe.
Subscribe, you know.
Remember when you could favorite videos on YouTube?
I don't actually.
What?
I probably never used the feature, honestly.
What?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you would favorite. Wouldn't it go to a whole separate playlist?
I think. I don't. You might still be able to do it. I don't know.
I don't know.
But so speaking of Facebook, or not Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next week.
Okay, we'll talk about YouTube next week.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Until next time. See you later.
See ya.
Bye. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be cooking. I forgot. I know. We can still probably play some.